as an example. The concept of God. If you do not have faith and truly believe that God is God, when you stress, you're saying God can't handle it. When you're having anxiety, you're saying God can't handle it. When you're depressed, you're saying God can't handle it. You're saying, think about this thing. What do you always say when you're stressed out? What is the one phrase? I can't handle you, kids. Maybe that's the problem. I can't handle all this stress. Y'all people are just making me all this. No. You see it. I. When you start believing that God is this God, and all of a sudden, the more you start believing in God, I remember the day where I sat and asked my pastor, I don't know, I'm waiting for God. I'm waiting for God. He says, you're not waiting for God.
God's waiting for you.
God's waiting for you. God is waiting for you to believe in Him. Believe in Him enough that you are ready to give up yourself. That you are ready to go into this new identity. AJ is facing this loss of his identity as well. And that's how I knew that today was right. This is not the direction, as y'all say, that I was going to go. But you need to hear this apparently for some reason. Because if you go into this new job as being the manager of Burger King, with this identity of being this manager at Burger King, the story goes, and I'm going to finish now. That's the blessing of being an old man. You forget what the crap you're talking about. So this guy sits there and he gets this letter. And he looks at it. And he sets it down. He continues his conversation. The whole time the guy's thinking, man. He said, that's your letter right there. He says, I know that. Don't you need to stop right now and read this thing? He said, no. Right now, you are my priority. Right now, this is what's important. He says, how'd you do this? He walks out and he brings this little tea service. And the tea service within Orientals was very special. And he pours this glass in there. And he's pouring it. And then it keeps pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring. Finally, it's running in forth. He says, stop. He says, you can't get no more in. He says, that's you. Nothing can go in you because you're so full. If you want to be filled, you got to dump your cup out. Except a new cup. An empty cup. You have to be an empty vessel. That's what God wants us to be. You've got to empty out yourself. You've got to let go of all these other things that are causing you this anxiety between you and God and all these different things going on. You've got to empty yourself. That's where it says stop and be still. Being still means you're empty. You have no thoughts. You have no identity. That, a broken spirit, a spirit that has no identity, has no pride, no titles, no nothing. It's a broken cup. It's a broken vessel. That's the one. If he says he never denies that, then what should we seek above all things? To be that person. When we're broken, when we're having all these problems, we release it. God, this is yours. May somehow through this suffering, through this trial, may I learn how to be a witness. I had to go through the loss of my identity so I understand my problems, but yet my problems become diminished. Even my lesson today becomes diminished because I believe with everything that you need to hear today. Enough that I stopped completely all of my lessons, my PowerPoint, everything, just so the strange chance that this God who may or may not exist, who may or may not care, that this broken vessel can share something with another broken vessel, but also with hope that other broken vessels. That is the other point, and we're going to talk about this eventually, of the Tessadi, which is the first letter in the word fast. The role of the Tessadi is that you've been broken, that you can bend down and help pick up those that are broken as well, to get them back in the row. That's the whole point of all of this. The Tessadi, he has been broken. It's said that in the forming of the world, when man sinned, the light was broken. The light was scattered all over. It is the Tessadi's role to go out and seek these broken vessels, this broken light, to come and pull them back up again. You cannot do that if you're still embracing your pain as yours. When your pain, when your brokenness becomes God, you've switched your identity. Now this is God's identity. God is moving. God wants to do these things. We can be anything that we want to be. If that is the case, why do you still want to be a shadow of what we could be? See, I'm ready to live beyond this. I need to make my election sure. I need to know that I'm doing my role that God has called me to do. My role is here. My role is in servicing God. How can I serve God? How can I be there for use for God? When your priorities are God-centered and God first, everything else just kind of filters in downstream.